let's turn that frown upside down. All right, so what is toxic positivity, you might be asking? Well, it's hard to explain. I feel that when someone is going through something, toxic positivity does not allow for that person to really feel the feelings. You're kind of being told that you need to, just look on the bright side of things. And, there was a lesson in this. Girl, sometimes there is no lesson. Sometimes shitty things just happen. And that's okay. But to always have to put a good spin on it can be very hurtful and very painful, because all of us go through things all of the time. And when you say, well, there was a lesson here, or, oh, you were spared this, or, let's look on the bright side. That's bullshit sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes a bad thing happened and there is no silver lining. Now, I'm not saying that you should sit in your angst and in your grief and in your sadness. I'm not saying that at all. What toxic positivity does is it just does. Obviously, I can't talk. So the definition of toxic positivity is the belief that no matter how dire or difficult a situation is, people should maintain a positive mindset. It is the good vibes only approach to life, making the best of a bad situation. Okay, so toxic positivity makes your feelings invalid. And as someone who has been fed a lot of toxic positivity, I can tell you that when you think you are helping someone to move through the process, you're not. You're just, all they do is they go home to their house or their apartment or their condo or wherever they live, and they feel those feelings alone, and they feel them substantially more, and it's amplified because they feel, and I'll use me as a perfect example, when people use things like, it was a blessing, or it was a godsend, or something better is coming. I get it. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to make me feel better. But sometimes I just need to feel like crap for a little bit. Sometimes I need to sit in those feelings. Because if you're telling me to get over something that fast, you're kind of, dismissing the fact that something big and monumental happened in my life, and it's hurtful. It's very hurtful. So, I know I'm very, very aware that I don't think anybody tries to be toxic in that sense, but you are. And it's hard. It's hard to catch yourself. I'm even guilty of it sometimes. Someone has a crappy day at work, and I'm just like, let's look on the bright side of things, and let's turn that frown upside down. What? Are you serious right now? Turn that frown, something bad happened. I'm having a bad day. Let me have this. Because when you don't let me have this, it makes me feel worse. And then that's just something else I don't have. So anyways, I'm ranting now, but yeah. So we talked about what toxic positivity is. We talked about how it makes people feel. And now we're going to talk about what you can do to not do it. Because again, like I said, I don't think people do this on purpose. I don't think people wake up in the morning saying, you know what, I'm going to make sure that they feel super dismissed and I'm just going to gaslight them all day long. You get a gaslight. You get a gaslight. Everybody gets a gaslight. I truly, sincerely hope that people do not wake up like this in the morning. What can you do to combat toxic positivity? There's a couple things. I think the first thing is I'd rather you not say anything at all instead of saying the wrong thing or dismissing my feelings. You can, if you really don't know what to say to somebody, you can just say, I'm really sorry that that happened to you, and I don't know what to say, but I'm here to listen. And you have no idea how much those words, I'm here to listen, sometimes that's all we need to hear. And it validates the feelings that we have, and it makes it a little bit better. So a big thing for me is normalize talking about your feelings. I believe that there's such a stigma when it comes to mental health and talking about your feelings. And one thing that I have really tried really hard to do is to normalize it. So, they say that if you break your leg, you wouldn't feel ashamed about going to the doctor, or, you wouldn't feel ashamed about telling your boss that, sorry, I can't, work today. I broke my leg. But it's almost expected that when you're having a bad mental health day, that you just keep a stiff upper lip and you keep it together, and big girls don't cry and boys don't cry, and tears make people uncomfortable. No, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I think the only way that you can normalize something is to bring it out of the darkness. And that means talking about your feelings. That means normalizing the fact that while it might be uncomfortable at the beginning, we need to talk about the bad days. We need to, and I'm not saying obsess about them. I'm not saying to every day bring it up and like, oh my God, my life, no, actually, even if every day you get up and you feel like your life is not worth living, or you feel like, frustrated and sad and lonely and depressed, if you feel that every day, you should feel comfortable enough to talk to your people that is how you're feeling. Anyways, I guess I kind of ran on a little bit of a tangent there. Not too sure how much of this is going to make the video, but just know keeping your feelings pushed deep down isn't healthy. And we need to normalize talking about our feelings. And we need to normalize listening to our others' feelings and listening to our own feelings. Because that's the only way that the stigma around mental health and feelings and emotions, that's the only way that it will be unstigmatized. So I guess the last thing I want to say is the next time someone says to you that they're having a bad day, or they want to talk to you about something that's been going on in their life that is painful for them, don't let your first response be to automatically make them feel better. You know, don't just tell them, oh, well, things will work out in the end. Because sometimes that's not what they need to hear. Sometimes they just need to hear, you know, I'm really sorry. I'm here for you. I love you. And, you know, we will get through this together. It will take time, but I'm here for whatever you need. So I guess that's it. That's all I have to say on this situation. You know, just be kind, be gentle. That's the word. Be gentle with each other, because you know what? Right now, we are all going through something. And some of us, it's easy to talk about. Some of us, it's not easy to talk about, but we are all going through something. So let's just try to get through it all together and in one piece. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to my video. And I know I rambled a bit, but mental health is something that's super, super, super important to me. So I get on my soapbox. Anyways, don't forget to like this video if you do enjoy this type of content. Subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and love you, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. When you think, Archer's right over here. Or at least how it makes me feel, because, you know, this is my YouTube channel, so we're going to talk about my feelings. I'm going to make sure that their feelings are feeling that